What is your opinion on the sharing of road space with cyclists on our roads?
My opinion on that matter is that both parties need to be aware of each other's responsibilities, and that whilst the buses take a large space, the bikes also need to give that metre as well. That metre matters each way. They can come over as well, as much as a bus or another vehicle needs to give that distance. So at the end of the day, my opinion on that is still very well divided. Some bikes and also some other vehicles don't adhere to that rule for whatever reason. I think both parties need to be educated in the matter further, and also the bikes need to adhere the rules a little bit more on the roads.
Of course. So do you think that there are suitable road rules in place at the moment, or would you have
Not
any
really.
suggestions?
Yeah, not really. I believe that the cyclists actually need to be licensed, or at least have some sort of identification. It's very well that they can just come up and take your identification via a number plate or company description on a vehicle, where if they do something wrong, you've got no way of identifying. I've seen incidents in the city, on the roads. They come up and just hit your mirrors, bend your windscreen wipers, or bend your antennas for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And you don't know what it is. They just come up and do it. They may think that you've cut them off, but then you've got no way of identifying them.
Exactly.
Back if they do an incident or cause an incident.
Definitely. So have you had any experiences yourself in which cyclists have ruined your reputation as a public driver?
Not ruin my reputation, but they have made incidences where they're in a large swarm. They'll take up the whole road, won't care, and you try and get around them. They think you're having a go at them, but all you're trying to do is get around them and give a clear space. And I'll politely just go toot like that to let them know I'm coming. And some of them will give them the finger, but you're just giving them a polite gesture that you're coming around, and they think you're being a threat. So yeah, it's again education, I think. But again, it's also road courtesy as well.
Exactly, definitely. So have you had any customers on your bus approach you about any issues with cyclists, or opinionated about any incidents or run-ins with cyclists on the bus?
No, not really. Only usually when I go down Duffy's Forest, I have the major incidents with cyclists. On the other roads, they're not too bad. But again, I think drivers need to have that anticipation, what could go wrong. So if I do see a cyclist, I'll back off, because some of them are like riding nose to tail. They just have to clip, and they'll spread all over, and you run them down.
Exactly.
So I think anticipation's got to be there, but I've not had any run-ins with people on the bus suggesting you did something wrong or should have done something different.
Perfect. And how do you deal with such situations on the road with the cyclists?
Well, yeah, as I said, just look at that anticipation, back off, and then make a judgment when it's right to take over, or when they may veer off the road. Like I have some people that come screaming down Roseville Bridge, and then they'll come and just veer off to the left once they come off it and go up the footpath. So again, that's the anticipation side. Back off, you're coming down about 75 kilometres an hour, and they'll keep up with you, so they're just screaming down that hill. But mainly it's the weekends, when it's the weekend warriors, if you like. I can understand people need to commute to go to work, but some of these cyclists are just very casual in their I wouldn't say appearance, that's irrelevant, in their way about going on the roads.
Yeah, definitely.
They're very casual. They just think they can take up whatever they want to. A lot of them don't adhere to the rules. I see them go through stop signs, red lights, especially in the city. It's red light, pedestrians are crossing, they'll just come up in the middle and keep taking off. So in the city it's quite dangerous. But in the open roads, sort of between here and Chatswood in the city, it's pretty good. It's where there's high congestion that causes the issue.
That's the main issue.
Yeah, and even though down back at Duffy's Forest the roads are so small, that's where it creates the issue. More than two or three, it can create a large concern for the drivers and then the other vehicles on the road, because they're trying to take over you and wondering why the bus is slow. And then they'll make it an adverse error as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for your time.
That's all right.